Hello and welcome to Piccadilly to Wigan Pier. Now the final source that we're looking at in this course, and one that I'm very interested in discussing with you, is the TV series Peaky Blinders, which began in 2013, and we're looking at the first episode that was broadcast. Now, rather than give you a general introduction to the source, because there's huge amounts of material on it which you can look at on the internet, I'm going to discuss why I'm looking at this particular source. So when I initially thought about doing a contemporary source which looks at the memory of the interwar years, I was going to look at the TV series Downton Abbey. I'm particularly interested in the lives of the servants rather than what's happening above stairs, and gradually I lost interest in really watching the TV series, particularly early in series 3, which is the first of the post-war TV series. Now, why was this? Well, I felt that Downton Abbey didn't really show all that much interest in the really radical social change that was occurring in the early post-war years. So the early 1920s is a time of great social upheaval in Britain. We see a significant rise in industrial militancy, and there's a sudden economic downturn during 1920 to 21, which causes high unemployment, which really remains a problem in Britain throughout the 1920s, as we've already seen. And my interest in doing a contemporary TV series as part of this course was finally reawakened in 2013 with the emergence of Peaky Blinders on BBC Two. Now, this is obviously a much more stylised TV series than Downton Abbey. You see that with the choice of soundtrack, with music by people like Nick Cave and the White Stripes, and it's a less realist series than Downton Abbey. But I think importantly, it's also one which is very concerned with the dislocation and social tension of post-war Britain. So just a bit of an introduction to the TV series. It focuses on the lives of the Shelby family and their criminal activities in early post-war Birmingham. The main character is Thomas Shelby, played by Cillian Murphy, who you may recognise through his role as the main villain Scarecrow in the film Batman Begins. And here in this interview, he introduces his character, Thomas Shelby.
I'd done television years and years ago, but never to this level, and to be able to immerse yourself in a character is complex and contradictory and alluring and flawed and all of those elements. I think you have to take into account where we meet Tommy, which is sort of, a year after the end of the First World War, and he's just carrying those experiences around with him, and he's self-medicating, like he's boozing and he's smoking opium and he's dealing with it, but it's crippled him kind of emotionally, but he's putting all that pain or whatever it may be into this ambition for this family that he has and this drive that he has. He's this very, very complex individual, and we see this drive causes all sorts of repercussions throughout the family and throughout the community.
So Peaky Blinders is a series that deals with issues such as shell shock and more generally the brutalising effects of war on former soldiers, and also the experience of the Irish War of Independence of 1919 to 21 is an important theme that runs throughout the first TV series. So I hope we have some fruitful discussions on this subject. Interestingly, a number of the works that I've asked you to look at in the bibliography are blogs by historians rather than full-length articles. Maybe this is the way that things will go in the future when we look at new types of source. But anyway, I hope you have some interesting thoughts on what Peaky Blinders can tell us about post-war Britain, what are its potential flaws there, and how does it compare to other more traditional forms of period drama which look at the interwar years, such as Downton Abbey.